Hello. I can't really say welcome to another episode of Health Tranny because this is not really an episode that I actually wanted to record. However, I do feel that I have to. So, last night during the Bastille Day celebrations in Nice, Mohamed Bouel drove his truck deliberately along the Promenade d'Anglais, killing 84 people and injuring countless others, some remaining in critical condition in hospital. He was eventually shot dead by police, but not before committing this terrible crime. Firstly, I would like to say my heart goes out to all those affected by this incident and hope that those in critical conditions receive the care they need to make a full recovery. Okay, so now that I have got that part out of the way, we get to the crux of the reason why I'm actually recording this video. Okay, so what I have to say is it not about time that the news media and the rest of Europe and the world for that matter wakes up and takes notice that we cannot and must not continue to be blind to the huge issues with doctrine within the fundamentalist religion of Islam? People who deny this issue exists on the basis of not wanting to be considered Islamophobic or hateful in some way need to wake up and realise that doing so is simply denying there is a problem and not actually doing anything to solve it. In fact, if anything, it's exacerbating the problem. People such as myself are not trying to claim that all Muslims are bad. We know that this is not the case. However, the Muslims you see shouting, "But Islam is a religion of peace," are not helping the situation either. It is not a religion of peace. A cursory glance at some of the texts within the Quran will tell you this. When you have British-born Muslim men being radicalised by imams, preaching in London mosques, travelling out to the Middle East to join ISIS, you have to ask why. A couple of years ago, we would have asked why, but now it seems that we have become silent on the subject due to some regressive notion that we might offend somebody. People will claim, well, those imams came from overseas specifically to preach hate and recruit these men to their cause. And yes, in a large number of cases this is true. But the question we need to be asking is, what kind of teachings and education have these young men been receiving while growing up in the UK and Europe, particularly France at the moment, where this problem appears to be at its worst, that would make them so easy to radicalise in numbers that, though sketchy, are not insignificant. We have figures from polls showing that a large percentage of Muslims living in the UK think such things as being homosexual should be a crime punishable by imprisonment, and also a good percentage who, though wouldn't necessarily commit acts of violence against non-Muslims themselves, would not condemn it either. There are areas with Sharia courts imposing dogmatic Islamic rulings being largely ignored by the national authorities, all in the name of so-called acceptance of different cultures. This brings to mind a meme that appeared on Facebook shortly after the Brexit vote. And though I'd voted to leave the EU, when the meme appeared I did think, that's a bit strong. This is the meme in question. Welcome to Britain, now fit in or fuck off. And now, when I actually think about it, though I still think it's a little blunt, it's also a perfectly reasonable statement. Now, I'm not going to claim to know how to solve these issues. I doubt anybody has any definitive answer on that front. But what I do know is that a complete refusal to talk about it isn't going to solve anything. No, it's not all Muslims, but Islam has a large part to play in the recent events in Orlando and last night in Nice being just two examples of which. I don't think dropping bombs is going to help either, but we do need to wake up and accept that the culture within Islam as a whole has some serious issues with it, and work together with truly moderate Muslims to reform the religion and bring it to an acceptable standard to exist in the Western world today. Again, my heart goes out to all those people in Nice affected by this heinous act of terror.